I think looking up is really important. When we're dejected, we end up looking down, but there's something about forcing ourselves to look up and to realize that there are bigger and better things out there that's really, really important. And I love that psalm which starts off, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come from? And we all think, oh, that's wonderful. But actually, there is a context that was a little bit problematic, because very often when people lifted up their eyes to the hills in the Old Testament, they were looking at places of idolatrous worship. So it could be, I will lift up my eyes to the hills. But the question is, where does my help come from? It doesn't come from the hills. It comes from the Lord. So in many ways, much as I love Psalm 121 and lifting up my eyes to the hills and being inspired by mountains and all of these kind of things, and the pictures are great, I know there are times when I've got to look even higher than the hills. So I love Psalm 123, verse 1, where it says this, I lift up my eyes to you who sits enthroned in heaven. And I think that's great, because that takes us above the hills. It takes us above everything in this earth and causes us to fix our eyes on God himself, who's seated on that throne. And there's something about God being seated on the throne that's really important. There have been many times when I prayed, God, you've got to intervene. Step off your throne, come down, do something, intervene on this earth. And yet I just catch my breath and think, actually, the fact that God is seated on his throne and has that confidence and that assurance that he is in control of everything in history, that it calms my heart and brings me peace. So by all means, lift up your eyes, but let's lift them up above all the circumstances in this world and set our eyes on the one who is enthroned in heaven. Make that something you do this week.